My name is Emily. I am 32 years old, and I live in a small town near the coast, in a quiet blue house with white windows. I used to think my life was simple and happy. I had a husband named Tom, and we had a baby boy, Oliver. Tom worked at a small office downtown, and I stayed home with Oliver most days. I loved our little family. Everything felt normal, until one cold morning in October. The sun was soft, the air smelled like rain, and Oliver was playing with his toy truck on the floor. I remember Tom leaving for work, giving me a small kiss on the forehead. His eyes looked tired, but I didn't think much of it. But something inside me felt strange that morning. A feeling I couldn't explain. Like a voice whispering, something isn't right. Tom had a small black notebook he always wrote in. He called it his work journal. He usually left it on his desk in the living room. I had never opened it before. I respected his privacy. Everyone deserves a little space, right? But that day, when he left, I couldn't stop thinking about it. My hands shook as I walked toward the desk. The black notebook was there, quiet, simple, and waiting. I told myself, Emily, don't do it. It's not your business. But then another voice whispered, you need to know. I opened the first few pages. Most of it looked harmless, lists of things to do, notes about work meetings, goals like exercise more and call mom. But then I saw a date. A date from 2 weeks ago. And under it, my name. My stomach dropped. He had written, I hate her. I wish she would just disappear. I read it again and again. I thought maybe I read it wrong, maybe it meant someone else. But then, below that, he wrote, when she was sick last week, I hoped she wouldn't get better. I froze. The room felt cold. Oliver's toy made a small sound on the floor, and I jumped. I couldn't believe the words in front of me. Tom, the man who held my hand when our baby was born, who made me tea when I was tired, wrote that he hated me. That he wanted me gone. I felt my heart break inside my chest. I turned more pages. Some entries were normal again. Go shopping, work meeting at 3, dinner with Emily. But then, I saw more. More words full of anger. And then, worse, a name I didn't recognize. Sophie. He wrote, Sophie understands me. She listens. She makes me feel alive. And later, if Emily wasn't here, maybe I could finally be free. I closed the diary fast, my hands shaking. I couldn't breathe. For a long minute, I just sat on the floor next to Oliver, staring at the window. The rain outside was falling harder now. I whispered to myself, what is happening? Who is Sophie? Why would he write this? I wanted to cry, but no tears came. I just felt empty. I knew I couldn't pretend everything was fine. I took pictures of every page on my phone, my hands shaking so hard I almost dropped it. I packed a small bag with some clothes for me and Oliver. I didn't leave a note. I didn't call Tom. I just walked out the door, holding my baby close. That night, I stayed with my friend Mia. She didn't ask many questions at first. She just gave me a blanket and some tea. When I finally told her, her face turned pale.
"Oh, Emily,"
she whispered.
"I'm so sorry."
I didn't know what to do next. All I knew was that my world, the world I thought was safe, had just fallen apart. Before I share the rest of my story, I want to ask you something. Where are you listening from? It gives me strength to know someone is hearing my words, someone who understands. Please tell me in the comments. I would really love to know. That night, I didn't sleep at all. Oliver was resting beside me on the couch, his little hand holding my shirt. I watched the clock tick from 1 hour to the next. Every sound outside, the wind, a passing car, a dog barking, made me jump. I kept thinking Tom might come to find me. I wanted to believe there was some mistake. Maybe the diary was old. Maybe he didn't mean those words. But deep down, I knew they were real. The next morning, Mia made me coffee. I sat at her kitchen table, my eyes red from crying. She said softly,
"Emily, you need to talk to someone. Maybe a therapist. Or a lawyer."
Her voice was calm, kind, but I could see worry in her eyes. I nodded. I know. I just don't understand. He never said he hated me. He's always kind. People can hide a lot, she said.
Sometimes even from themselves.
Those words stayed in my head all day. Later, when Oliver was napping, I opened my phone and read the photos I had taken of Tom's diary. Each page felt like a small knife. He had written about Sophie again, a woman from his office. He said she was bright and funny. He wrote, "I think about her when I'm home. Emily doesn't make me feel alive anymore." I felt sick. It wasn't just anger now, it was sadness. Sadness that the man I trusted had another world inside his mind, one I never saw. That evening, I texted Tom. I didn't tell him what I found. I just wrote, "I need some space for a few days. Please don't come here. I'll message when I'm ready." He replied fast.
Okay. Take your time. I love you. We'll talk soon.
His message made my chest ache. How could he say he loved me after writing those words? The next day, I booked an appointment with a therapist. Her name was Dr. Lane. Her office was small, warm, with plants in the corner and soft music playing. I told her everything. Every detail. When I finished, she looked at me quietly and said,
Emily, reading someone's private journal isn't right, but I understand why you did it. You felt something was wrong.
I nodded. I didn't want to know. But now I can't unsee it. She asked,
Do you feel safe with him?
That question hit me hard. I thought about Tom's face, his smile, the way he played with Oliver. He's never hurt me, I said. But I don't feel safe in my heart. After the session, I sat in my car for a long time. The rain was falling again. It matched how I felt, quiet, heavy, endless. I thought about the day Tom and I met. He was funny and charming. We met at a bookstore. He asked what I was reading, and I told him it was a book about love. He laughed and said, Then maybe this is a sign. I smiled at the memory, but it felt like someone else's story now. When I got back to Mia's house, she asked gently,
What will you do?
I looked at Oliver playing on the floor and said, I don't know yet. But I need the truth. I decided to call Tom that night. He answered quickly.
Emily? Are you okay? I've been worried.
I'm fine, I said. My voice was shaking. Tom, I found your diary. Silence. Long. Cold silence. Then he whispered,
Oh. Okay.
Yes, I said. I read it. I saw everything. The hate. The part about Sophie. The part about me dying. His voice broke.
Emily, no. Please. That was just writing. I didn't mean it. I was angry. I was lost.
You wished I'd die, Tom.
I didn't mean that. I was trying to get my feelings out. I didn't want to hurt you. I just didn't know how to stop being angry.
Tears ran down my face. I said softly, You didn't write to heal. You wrote to hide from me. He was quiet again.
You're right.
He said finally.
I messed up.
I couldn't speak anymore. I just ended the call and sat there in the dark, holding my baby close. That night, I decided something. Whatever happened next, I would not go back to pretending everything was fine. The next few days felt like living in slow motion. Morning came, but I didn't feel the sun. Food tasted like nothing. I was there, but not really there. Mia tried to help. She made soup, watched Oliver when I needed to rest, and told me gentle things like,
"You're strong, Emily. You'll get through this."
But I didn't feel strong. I felt broken. I kept replaying Tom's words in my head. I hate her. I wish she would disappear. Each time, it hurt the same. Still, part of me wanted to understand. Maybe hearing his side would help me close this chapter. So I agreed to meet him. We met at a small park near the river, a quiet place where families often walked their dogs. I came with Mia, just in case. Tom stood near a bench, his hands in his pockets. He looked tired, older somehow. When he saw me, he tried to smile.
Hi.
I nodded. Hi. There was a long silence before I spoke. Why did you write those things, Tom? He looked down.
Because I was angry. At myself, at life, at us. I didn't mean them.
I crossed my arms. You said you hoped I'd die. He shook his head quickly.
I didn't want you dead. I just wanted to stop feeling trapped.
I didn't say anything for a moment. Then I asked, and Sophie? Who is she? He sighed.
She's a woman from work. We talked, that's all. I told her things I should have told you. It wasn't love, it was escape.
Escape. That word stung. I asked, did she know you were married?
Yes.
He said quietly. Did you tell her you wanted to be free from me? His face turned red.
Yes. But I didn't mean it like that. I was confused.
I could feel tears behind my eyes, but I held them back. Tom, I said, you don't write words like that by accident. You write them because you feel them. He stepped closer.
I felt lost. I thought our marriage was dying. I used the diary to say things I could never say aloud. It was a way to let go of anger.
I shook my head. But that anger lived on paper. It grew. You fed it every time you wrote her name. He looked at me with tears in his eyes.
I'm sorry. I love you, Emily. I love our son. Please, let me fix this.
For a second, I wanted to believe him. I really did. But then, I saw the pages in my mind, the words, the hate, the cold wish that I'd disappear. I took a deep breath. I can't just erase what I read. You put death on paper, Tom. You wrote about my life like it was something you could turn off. He looked down.
I know. And I'll regret it forever.
We stood there in silence. The river moved slowly, like time itself didn't want to rush this moment. I finally said, I need time. Maybe a long time. I don't know what's next, but I can't come home right now. He nodded weakly.
I understand.
Then he looked at me with sad eyes and said,
I wish you never read it.
Those words hurt more than all the rest. Because I realized, he didn't wish he never wrote it. He only wished I never knew. I walked away, holding my bag, feeling the weight of everything. Mia was waiting in the car. She asked softly,
How did it go?
I said, he's sorry. But I don't think he understands what he destroyed. Mia reached over and touched my hand.
Then maybe it's time to start again, just you and Oliver.
I looked out the window as the car moved. The town looked different now, the same streets, same houses, but my heart saw them all in a new light. That night, when Oliver was asleep, I sat by the window, watching the stars. I whispered, how did my life change so fast? Then I looked at my son, sleeping peacefully, and said to myself, maybe this is where I start healing.
The story continues in 10 seconds. Pause the video to review the new vocabulary and answer the quiz questions.
It has been 3 months since that day in the park. Sometimes it feels like a dream, other times, like it all happened yesterday. Oliver and I still live with Mia, though I'm slowly looking for a small apartment. Somewhere bright, quiet, and safe. Somewhere new. I've learned that healing is not quick. It's slow, like winter turning into spring. Some mornings I wake up strong. Other days, I still cry. But each day, I remind myself, I did the right thing. Tom messages sometimes. His words are soft now, careful. He says he's going to therapy. That he's sorry, again and again. I believe he means it, but that doesn't mean I can forget. Love isn't only words. It's trust. And trust, once broken, takes time to rebuild, if it ever can. Last week, I met with Dr. Lane again. She smiled when she saw me.
You look calmer,
She said. I smiled a little. I still hurt. But I don't feel lost anymore. She nodded.
That's what healing looks like.
Later that evening, I took Oliver for a walk by the sea. The sky was orange, the waves soft and slow. He laughed as the wind touched his hair, and for the first time in months, I laughed too. I thought about everything that happened, the diary, the words, the lies. It all still lived somewhere inside me, but it didn't control me anymore. That night, after putting Oliver to bed, I opened my notebook, my own diary. I started to write, not out of pain, but out of hope. I wrote. I thought I found hate inside those pages. But maybe I found something else, truth. A painful truth, but one that helped me wake up. I can't change the past. But I can choose peace now. Then I closed the notebook and smiled. I learned something important through all this. Sometimes the truth hurts, but it also frees us. It breaks the walls we didn't even know were there. I'm still learning who I am without Tom. I'm learning that being alone isn't the same as being lonely. I have my son. I have my friends. I have myself. And for the first time in a long time, that feels like enough. When I look at Oliver sleeping, I whisper, "You and I will be okay." Because we will be. Maybe someday, I'll love again. Maybe I won't. But I'll never ignore my feelings again. And I'll never stop choosing peace. If you're listening to this, and you've ever felt broken, please remember. Broken things can heal. And sometimes, they become even stronger than before.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this story, please like, comment, and share. You can watch the next story here or explore our playlist for more inspiring stories. And don't forget to subscribe. More emotional stories for learning English are coming soon.